Okay, we're live. Hi everyone. Hi Maria again and hi Justine. So today we have Thompson River University and this is located in Kamloops. So you guys have like different campuses, so we're going to discuss that with Maria later. And today we also going to talk about the programs available at TRU and also the job opportunities in Kamloops. So let me introduce Maria. Oh, go ahead, Maria. Introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, my name is Maria. I am a marketing services representative for Southeast Asia. So I overlook students applying from different regions, countries from Southeast Asia, as well as Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, etc. I'm also myself a graduate from Thomson Rivers University, graduated in 2016.
Oh,
Finished, yeah, I finished a Bachelor of Tourism Management in Innovation and Entrepreneurship, also in TRU. So I'm a walking proof that you can do it.
so do you travel a lot, Maria? Because you said you're in Indonesia right now, but you reside in
Yes.
Canada. Do you reside in
Um,
Canada?
so right now, no. Right now, my base is this moment is Indonesia. I'm in Philippines quite a bit. I also overlook markets in CIS countries. So I am all over the place most of the time. But yeah, I travel a lot, maybe 7, 8 times a year, so at least. So there's quite a bit of trips happening during the recruitment season. So it's an interesting part. Can be stressful, but you get to meet a lot of students and
Yes. It
new
sounds
countries.
yeah, it sounds like interesting. It sounds like exhausting but fun, you know?
Yes,
But to finish
by the end of it, you learn to have fun with it. Yes.
true, true. And are you going to visit the Philippines like um in the next year?
Yes,
Absolutely.
of
You'll
course.
visit Philippines. She'll visit
I
Philippines.
am.
Yeah, because
I
you're pretty close.
I am. Well, Justine is laughing because I'm in Philippines very often. She
Yes.
sees me quite often. Yes. I think during March and February, the closest ones. Yep. Maybe end of January. I will be having a couple of trips to Philippines for sure. Yes. So we're still waiting on
Yes.
some of the confirmations for different fairs and events in Philippines. So once those are set, I'll have specific dates if you will need me to provide those for you as well. If someone wants to meet with me in person, I'll be happy to do so as well.
Yeah, it's today we're going to have a conversation with Maria about what to expect if you go to TRU, what you can actually explore, and also the jobs. So uh wait, just give me a sec. Am I lagging? Am I lagging?
No, you're good.
I'm good. Okay. So basically Justin and I will be asking you, Maria, and then you can try to share your slides if you have interesting facts that you want to share with us. But let's like talk about like the location because most students are not familiar with Kamloops. So they don't know where Kamloops is. And how many campuses do you guys have?
Right. So maybe let me just open my map so I can show you. Just give me one. I think it would be easier to have a visual.
So while Maria is sharing the slides, so TRU is in British Columbia, and it's on the east side of British Columbia, and there's so many programs like master's degree at TRU. So if you guys are interested to learn about that, so make sure that you finish this session until the end because we're going to tell you guys the admission requirements as well. So if you guys are interested. And TRU is a publicly funded university here in British Columbia. Let me know if you need help, Maria.
Uh, I might, yes, because it seems that it's asking me for all sorts of permissions to share a screen.
Are you using Mac?
Yes, I am.
That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to like share the slide. Maybe we
That's
can
okay.
like
Yeah. I will
go
just go with
to
it. So basically, we are located in British Columbia, which is the warmest province in Canada, by the way. We are very close to Vancouver. Uh, I think it's about 3.5 hour drive. It's
the
also just under an hour flight from Vancouver to Kamloops. We are located on the main transnational highway, so you can get to Kamloops either from Vancouver, um, Calgary as well. So if you are planning to fly in through Calgary, it's about a 1 hour flight or about 5 to 6 hour drive, depending on the weather conditions, of course. So we are very in a very strategic location. We're in the heart of British Columbia, so um, it's fairly easily accessible for the students when they arrive or if they choose to travel around. We're close to Okanagan, so if they want to check out Kelowna and other places around, it's very close.
Yeah, so can you like see my wait, here you go. So Kamloops is here
Hmm.
and here is Vancouver. So you are basically in the middle of Calgary, right? So if you
Exactly.
want to go
Pretty
and
much.
visit, you can just drive there. And then if you want to go to the big city like Vancouver, you can just easily like drive to Vancouver. So you guys get the idea where it is. And how
Yeah.
many
And
campuses
Kamloops,
you guys?
yeah, so we do have two campuses. The main one is located in Kamloops. And the
Mm-hmm.
second one is around 3 hour drive from campus. It's located in Williams Lake.
Where is that? Like the Williams Lake? Is it like close to Kelowna or?
Um, yes, it's closer to that side. Um,
Mm,
but it's a bit not exactly Kelowna, but yeah, it's about 3 hour drive. So, but
yeah.
there's only two programs right now that are being offered on that campus. So
Okay.
it's specifically for those programs, but the rest of our programs are all being hosted on our main campus in Kamloops.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So now let's talk about like you mentioned about the weather, right?
Mhm.
So you don't get snow in Kamloops.
Oh, we do. We do
Oh,
get
you
snow,
do
of course.
during winter.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
I think the only place that doesn't get snow in Canada is probably Vancouver. And even then, you guys still get snow from time to time in Canada. Um, on rare occasions, it will drop quite a bit, and then everyone gets stressed, and then it all melts away. Everything is good. Um, but we do get snow. But if you compare Kamloops to, let's say, Toronto or
Hmm.
Calgary, we're fairly warm and we're
Yeah.
quite mild in our winters. So, winter time, you're looking at about -5 to +4 Celsius degrees.
Yeah.
It can get up to -10 sometimes for like a week, but usually it's quite warm. We also have the advantage of this. We do have a second best Canadian ski resort located in Kamloops, which is just an hour drive from our main campus. So students can take advantage of skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing. If they're traveling as a family, there's a lot of activities for them to do with
Yeah.
kids as well, skating and so on. So that's not bad. And we are the sunniest city in British Columbia. So we have over 2,000
Oh
hours of
yeah.
sunshine. Yeah, so we're not uh, we're quite a happy place in terms of the weather, I would say.
Yeah, because Kamloops like pretty close to Kelowna, which is Kelowna is like a kind of like dry area. So I
Yeah.
forgot to tell you, Maria, I'm here in British Columbia, Vancouver Island. So I'm not sure if you have been
Okay.
to Vancouver Island. So that's where
Of
I
course.
am
Yeah.
residing right now. So I passed Kamloops before going here to Vancouver Island, and I saw like it's kind of like different kind of weather
Hmm.
in Kamloops, like in Kelowna as well. Just it's always like
Yes.
sunshine, dry. So yeah,
It is. It's quite nice. Yes. And during summertime, we get up to 34 degrees, sometimes even
wow.
28 to 34. So it's quite warm and it's not raining a lot. So it's a really nice time to be there, especially summer and fall when students are just arriving. It's perfect. And there's a lot of adventurous activities. So if students
Mhm,
do enjoy, water sports or
mhm,
staying active and healthy, there's plenty of hiking, biking, and so on. So um, yeah, the nature is the main benefit of studying in Kamloops because there's a lot of things you can do outdoors
mm-mm,
uh, with your fellow classmates or your family and just with the local community. So it's a good place to be.
mhm. And for TRU, so how many international students do you know? Like how many, like the total international students right now at TRU? Is it like saturated already, or like do you have any idea, Maria?
Of course, of course, I do. So generally, I would say the total number of students each semester is over 14,000 students. But
Mm.
that's together combined with domestic students and international. If we talk about
Mhm.
specifically international students, we have over 4,000 and a half
Oh.
from last semester students international from 110 countries. So 109 countries represented plus domestic, Canadian students. So officially, we're quite diverse and we welcome different new countries to come to TRU. So it's quite nice to see
Mhm.
such a great diversity on our campus, and we do celebrate it. We do have a lot of events to celebrate diversity on our campus, festivals and different types of events as well.
Yeah, like 4,500, that's not a lot, like if I compare it to other schools. And then most of your programs are like master's degree. Let's move on to the programs, since most of our viewers are interested to know what are the programs that are applicable to international students. Like you guys can comment below if you have any questions, and then at the end, or if we have time, we can like answer that straight away. But mostly the programs for international students, especially right now, Maria, that immigration, it's changing every time. So um is it more like the master's degree? Is it more like bachelor's, or do you have diploma as well?
We have all sorts of programs.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever requests you might have, we might have that also. So starting from, for some students that require English preparation courses or
Mm-mm.
foundation programs, we do that. Students wanting to do certificate programs under
Mm-mm.
a year, we offer that. If someone is looking for a shorter program such as diploma, we also offer that to our students. And then moving into bachelor's of 4 years, post-baccalaureate diplomas as well and masters as well as juris doctors. So we have quite a bit of a range of different programs. But if we talk about specifically programs that are eligible for a postgraduate work permit, there's a lot of those. So since we are a public university and fully accredited, we do have um, all of our master's and all of our bachelor programs eligible for postgraduate work permit. So any program you choose within master's and bachelor's, you will be qualified, um, if you're successfully graduate from the school, to be eligible to apply for postgraduate work permit. However, when it comes to diplomas, we also do have a certain number of programs that are eligible for postgraduate work permit as well. If maybe you have a chance, since I don't have the access, but if you go into TRU.ca website, I'll
Mm-hmm.
just show you how to easily navigate it.
Okay, let me just go there. Share screen.
I think we lost.
Yeah, we lost MC. But let me check. I'll try
Yeah,
to open TRU's website. Let me try.
oh,
Sorry,
she's back.
Okay.
I remove myself.
She's back.
Okay. Okay, present now. Wait, having just once. Justin, you want to cover for
Let me
me
try
while
on my
I'm
end.
doing this? Wait.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I think you can.
yeah. Can you
Yeah,
see my
having
screen?
issues with. Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Perfect.
yes, we can
So
see it.
this is our website, TRU.ca. So if you touch on international button there on top, if you
International.
go towards the international and then you choose programs. Mhm. So once you go into
It's loading.
TRU.ca, go into international, choose the programs, you will have access to all of our programs. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll start seeing the program name. And then
Yeah.
right next to program name, if you go a little bit up, you can see a postgraduate work permit eligible. So we do have a tick next to each program that has that eligibility for postgraduate benefits, work permit benefits. So it's quite comprehensive to be able to just go in, see. You can also click on each program and read about it.
Mm,
You can see where intake starts, how long is the program, admission type, if it's competitive, open, or limited seating, co-op if available or not, which is cooperative education that we offer for our undergraduate students, and of course, English academic proficiency upgrading if any of the students will require that. We also offer that in some programs. So this is the best tool to use for students, for agents to go in to look to find the program of their interest and all the criteria and eligibility as well. And moving into programs, since we talked about this, this is a full list of our master programs
mm-mm,
that you can see here. And as you can see, they're all postgraduate permit eligible, of course.
mm-mm. So you offer masters in nursing as well to international students, or only like for domestic?
No, we do offer master of,
That's
so
good
all
to
of these
know.
programs that are mentioned here, they're all
All
for
for
international
international
students.
students.
Correct. Yeah. So for Master of Nursing, we do have quite a bit of students now, especially I got quite a bit of students from Philippines as well,
Yeah.
applying for nursing. So it's very much doable.
Mm,
And especially that if students are coming from Philippines, we do have an exemption for IELTS if they can provide medium of instruction in English. We also accept students from all educational backgrounds. So if they do have K to 10
mm-mm,
bachelor degree, they can still apply for master programs. So we have we have that flexibility for our students. We accept anyone from any background as long as they meet eligibility criteria for master programs, such as, GPA, and references and all
Mm-mm.
additional things that they require.
How about the MBA? Do you need GMAT for MBA?
Now, that's the good thing about us. For MBA, we do not require GMAT and we do not ask for it's welcoming to have experience, working experience, but if a student is
Yes.
applying directly from bachelor's to master's, they're more than welcome to do so. We do not require experience and we do not require GMAT.
That's good to know because in other schools they also require the GMAT. And then most of my students, Maria, they're interested to get the masters in education and masters in data science. Can you tell me more about the masters in education and data science?
Yes, of course. Well, let's start with Master of Education.
Yes.
I think this is a good fit of a program for someone who's looking to be an educator, to manage an educational institution, to be an academic dean, counselor. I think that would be a great fit. Usually, from what I see, students coming into this program applying from backgrounds, from already educational backgrounds, but it doesn't have to be necessarily. So, the main criteria students would have to meet is to have their GPA, 85 over 100. So it's a bit of a higher GPA. So their grades have to be good. We're looking at the past 2 years of their studies. Of
Mm-mm.
course, medium of instruction. And, for Master of Education, we're looking at a couple of, if they have references or maybe they can provide some, working experience and so on. So that would be the main things we're looking at. And of course, they will have to provide a short letter of intent of why they should be considered for the program. So just the general process for any program that you apply for. So that's probably it mm, for Master of Education, unless you want to follow up with a question on this one.
Yeah, for masters of education, you don't actually need someone to have like 5 years experience in teaching. Like volunteer would
No,
be, yeah, that's good.
yeah. So we don't, yeah. As long as you have urge to study, uh,
Mm-mm.
we will look into your application and as long as you meet the main requirements again for GPA and English proficiency,
Yeah,
you should be fine to apply. So for someone who doesn't have medium of instruction in English,
yeah.
we are accepting IELTS of 7.0 with no bands below 6.5. So
Okay. How about the data science?
um, data science, pretty much idea is the same. If someone is looking to do, work with data, they want to manage specific facilities, manage data, um, business intelligence, reporting professional, data analyst,
Mm-mm.
and there's so much more that you can do with this program. So
Mm-mm.
um, yes, so statistician, project manager. There's a lot of different things that students can consider doing. They will be taking different courses about, applied statistics and data mining, exploratory data. So for a Master of Science in Data Science, we are looking for someone who has a computing science experience from before. That's preferably the main criteria that you have some understanding of data science, computing science. So
Oh,
anyone from IT field would be best fit for this program. Yes, and we are accepting students. for the same criteria for their GPA, and English proficiency as well.
Mm-hmm. So for data science, the applicant has to have the bachelor's degree or the experience or a combination or either or related
Yeah.
to
So
data science.
so for Master of Data Science, the student has to have a 3 to 4 year graduated bachelor degree. That's the main thing, but
Oh,
it has to be in a related discipline. So, which means
got
related
it.
to the field of data science. It doesn't have to be specifically data science. It can be, computer
Computer
science.
science. Got it.
Yes, anything related to IT would be preferable. So it's easier for students to get into the sphere of studying into that program. We will ask for 2 references. We will provide the forms for students to fill those
Mhm.
out. For referees to fill those out. So if they have working experience, that's
Mhm.
important for us. Yeah. So if it was volunteering, if it was, internship, if it was specifically work related experience, we are looking at those.
Mhm. Okay. So now, like, I think we already covered the programs, right? Most of the programs you have already mentioned it. Is there any other programs that, very popular to international students that you can think of right now?
Are we talking specifically about graduate programs?
Yeah, let's be specific to graduate programs.
Of course. So yes, we do have, we currently have around 8 programs for masters. So starting from, the popular programs that you mentioned is Master of Nursing, Master of Education, Master of
Mm-mm.
Business Administration, Data Science. Of course, those are all popular. However,
Mm-mm.
we have a couple of programs. One of them is Master of Arts in Human Rights and Social Justice.
Oh,
So yeah, that's actually a very interesting program. It allows students to work in provincial, national, international NGOs, various level of government,
got it.
private sector companies that take care of social responsibilities. And this program is good for anyone who has programs related to humanities studies, even languages could be potentially a good fit for students from the background. So something within related field of, humanities, social justice. So if you have a law students, they
Yeah.
can look into the program as well. It's really good and it's quite affordable. I think it's around for the full program, I have to make sure that, but I think it's around 34,000 Canadian dollars for the full studies for 2 years. So it's a good program to look into, and good job outcomes as well.
Mm-hmm. Because like
Another one.
okay,
Sorry, yeah,
go.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
because there are like some like lawyers or attorneys in the Philippines who are interested to study here, and it's so hard for them to find a program. If they can find one, it will be like a diploma program, which will be the downgrade because we have like a bachelor's in political science already. I think that's gonna be um a good combination with your political science, or you have already finished your law degree in the Philippines, let's say. That
Yeah,
master's program, now I know that we can recommend it to lawyers, right? For example. And then you're
yeah, it
gonna
could
tell
be.
us another one. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
You're
no,
about
no,
to
no,
tell
of
us
course.
another one. What is it?
So I know that a lot of students only aware of MBA, Master of Business Administration
Mm-mm.
program. However, there's actually quite a bit of different programs that are very similar um, to the field of business. However, it has more
Mm,
of a focus into environmental economics and management. So we
mm.
do have two programs. One of them is Master of Environmental Economics and Management, and
Okay.
there's another one called Master of Science in Environmental Economics and Management. So essentially, it's the same program. One is
Mm-mm.
thesis based, and one is a project based or course
Mm-mm.
based. So um, this is a program that fully focuses on environmental economics and management, how to be profitable
Yeah.
in the era of sustainable business, and so on. So students can look into career outcomes such as, commodities broker, environmental
Mm-mm.
coordinator, sustainability manager, energy auditor, and so on. So there's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of opportunities, especially in Canada, where we put so much effort and focus on sustainability, being
Yeah, green
environmentally friendly.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to make sure you're not just that, but you're also profitable. So that's what we have for the students to take advantage of. Yeah, so that's the program page as well that you can our students can go and check out,
Yeah.
read more about it. Yeah. We also do have a Master of Environmental Science program. It's very rare to be able to be eligible for that program. It's possible, but a student who is very, very passionate about thesis will be the best fit for this program because it's all thesis-based program of environmental science. So yeah, all in all, these are the all the programs that we do have. So uh, I
Okay.
would say I would encourage students to not be afraid of the word masters, academia,
Yes,
and
true.
to just try applying and see maybe they're very much qualified. You never know. So sending some documents to for a pre-assessment is the best plan to start looking into opportunities for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned some of the requirements already. So basically, you need college diploma, transcript, two references, right? And then your passport. And then for English test, you might need to take if like there are like list of English tests that you can choose. But for Filipinos, sometimes they can waive the English test. Am I correct, Maria? Depending on the program.
Yeah. So for all of our programs for graduate students, we do accept medium of instruction from their previous educational institution,
Okay.
as long as it was in English. Yeah. So if
Mm-mm.
MOI is in English, we will accept that and we will exempt them from IELTS um, for any program,
Even nursing?
even nursing. Correct.
Wow. Mostly nursing they do require the IELTS, right?
Yeah.
Because okay.
So keep in mind, Master of Nursing application or any of master programs are
Mm-mm.
being assessed by a faculty committee, right?
Mm-mm.
So although we do exempt students, however,
Yeah.
if going through the application, we have questions, we might ask for an interview to just make sure that the student has good proficiency. However, the past year, the students that have been admitted to study in our master programs, as well as Master of Nursing and
Mm-mm.
Education, they had no problem. I also do my round of, follow-ups with the students, so you can easily see if the student will be able to handle a program like that. Because, Master Nursing program is quite demanding. You have to keep up your grades, and
I know, yeah.
you know, yeah,
It's not it's not a joke. So if you're going
it's
to
not.
like any master's degree in Canada, I mean, don't be scared with like the name masters, but you also have to be serious. You have to study. Some like
Yeah.
students, they just like focus on studying. They cannot work anymore because it's kind of demanding, right? So,
Yeah, but if you think about it, investing money in education in Canada pays off very well. And you yourself are being in Canada and probably also being a graduate student can vouch for that because
mm,
it is an investment. And if you think about the amount of money that you invest in Canadian education and the salary that you get down the road and opportunities, potential immigration opportunities down the road and,
mm-mm.
relocating your family, etc. better quality of life, etc. So I think if you compare that, that's an investment. It's not a expenditure. So you want to make sure that you succeed in your studies because that would be the main pathway to your future in Canada if
True.
you graduate successfully from a Canadian institution.
Yeah. So choose your program wisely, right?
Yes.
Another question, Maria. So if I want to apply at TRU, you have different intakes, right? So do you have like May intake, or most of the programs are in September intake? I think most of like them are September, January, right?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Justine had a website earlier for our master program. So on their website, you can see all the intakes. But generally, for master programs, most of the programs are always available in September. Then
Yeah.
there is some intakes available in winter as well. Unfortunately, May is not uh, available for masters. Yeah, so you can see here
Oh yeah,
September,
here.
January. Yeah. So the one program that is accepting, which we just introduced this actually for May, is the
Mm,
Master of Science in Environmental Science. But again, this program is the is very difficult to get in. So
mhm,
if you're and it's a thesis full-on research-based program. So if you are looking for a program, you will look into main semesters such as September and January for intake.
mhm, mhm. And I also noticed like TRU, like the tuition fee, if you compare it to other universities, it's not that expensive. So how
We're
much is
we
the MBA, or depending on the program, how much is the MBA?
Right. So depending on the program, Justine, if I can ask you,
Okay.
if you can go on the website for international again tab, or just on the side it says tuition fees there on the left side.
Oh,
If you
here
click on tuition fees,
below the
yeah,
English requirement.
everything is there. Very comprehensive website, so you can find all of the information. So the range for master programs is starting from 32,000 to 58,000 Canadian
Mm-hmm,
dollars for full 2 years. So if you
mm-hmm.
click on graduate programs, you can see the breakdown for each program. This is the
Oh,
full
got
tuition,
it.
which means let's say if you're looking at the MBA program, it's 54,000 Canadian dollars for 2 years. And students do not have to pay in full the entire tuition fee. They pay by each semester. So their first deposit would be around 11,000 Canadian dollars to receive the letter of acceptance. And then the rest of this amount will be divided into semesters.
Wow. Like masters in I just couldn't believe masters in the master of nursing is 37,000. It's almost like the
Yeah,
same cost if you take a diploma in a community
yeah.
college, you know?
We are we are very competitive for programs for that
Yeah.
reason. And of course, we do have master nursing program, but only very qualified students can go into that, right? So um, you mentioned earlier something along the lines that we only have 4,500 international
Yes.
students. It might seem like not a big amount, but on the scale of the quality of education being offered, it's very, very good and consistent. So we generally have no more than 30 students per class, which gives them a personalized experience into their studies. They have access to professor. They are familiar with their classmates. So it's not 100 people sitting in the same room. It's actually very much um, it's like a personal experience that students receive. And for a city that has a population of 100,000 people, 4,500 international students, it's a pretty good number, and it is considered quite diverse. So I think majority of students are quite happy with the level of education and level of support they receive, because we have a completely separate team for international students, just dedicated to international students, and separate building. It's called International Business Building, where
Mm-hmm.
students can get, all the academic support. We have all our student advising in there. So any questions related to housing, to bringing your family, to, change of program, just to talk to someone. We have, you know, advisors from different regions, and we have altogether a team that speaks over 11 languages. So it's we have a team from Philippines as well. So we focus not on the quantity, we focus on the quality of education, of services we provide, of education we provide. So that's why TRU has been such a great educational leader in Canada and British Columbia, and a good example for a lot of institutions as well, of how to, provide that good customer service to our students and help them from the moment they, ask for help to the moment they arrive to institution, and then from institutional start when they get their step forward into their studies, they also get all the support that they need once they come and ask for it. So I think students should really consider studying in public universities more, and not be afraid to come to
Mm-hmm.
university, because just because it says university doesn't mean it's only academia. We do have a lot of practical knowledge for our students, and there's a lot of hands-on experience that students can learn from. So yeah.
And also, like, just to ask about the Master of Nursing, you said it's a competitive program, right?
Mhm.
So, what are you looking for an applicant? Let's say I'm a nurse. Do I
Mhm.
need to have an experience? So basically, I need to be licensed back home, right? So,
Correct. Yes. So, Master of Nursing, the main criteria to be even eligible is you have to be a registered nurse in your
mm,
country.
mm-hmm,
You have to have license. So that would be also submitted to TRU, that will check.
yeah,
Now, if you haven't practiced enough, but you still have license, we will look into your application still. We just want to make sure you have uh, you have the license to do
okay.
so, right? So again, we are looking at your GPA. That's number one. We are looking at the two letters of references. One have to be academic and one has to be professional. Okay.
Mm,
Um, and then we will ask to provide the verification of registration, and of course, MOI or IELTS, depending on the country students applying from. But for Philippine students, they can apply with no IELTS, but with medium of instruction in English in their previous uh, educational institutions. So,
got it. And the tuition fee for that is 37,000.
yeah,
So,
38 to round it up. Yeah.
yeah, 38,000. Wow. Like, Justin, do you have question for Maria? I think I have already asked Maria a lot of questions. I think, yeah. So go on, Justin. Do you have question?
Yeah, in terms of scholarship, are there any specific scholarship or financial aid options available for international students, Maria?
Yeah, thanks, Justin. That's a really good question. So, if there is a student that is interested in the scholarship, if they're qualified, so they first would have to apply and be accepted into the program. And then once they are, we can, see if there's something that we can do for them. If their grades are high, if they have great proficiency in English, we can try them for up to 2,000 Canadian dollars scholarship as an entrance into the program. So we can provide that. But just like Anna mentioned, we already have our cost for tuition very competitive compared to other
Yes.
institutions. So It's not possible to give students a lot of scholarships, unfortunately, because we're already government subsidized
Mm-mm.
in our tuition fees. But if you have a application, bring it to my attention, and I'll see what I can do. But the
Mm-mm.
first things first, student has to get accepted into the program before, and then I will try my best to see what financial aids we can help for the student. But it wouldn't be more than 2,000 Canadian dollars, I would say.
Yeah. And then most of the students who finish their school at TRU, they stay in Kamloops. Where do they get their jobs? Or they spread
Mhm.
out across British Columbia?
Yeah, well, Canadian education and education students receive in Thompson Rivers University is accredited anywhere in Canada and worldwide as well. So there are students that stay in Kamloops. Actually, a lot of them stay in Kamloops for many reasons. First one is the cost of living.
Yes.
If you compare, cost of living in Kamloops to, let's say, Vancouver or Toronto, we are 30% less cost of living than
Mm-mm.
the major cities, right? So it's very important when you consider where to study, not just for purpose of, the quality of education and so on, but also what are you going to do after when you graduate? Where can you live? Where can you afford living? Do you want to commute or you want to live in a smaller city that will take you 15 to 20 minutes to get to work? How much is the insurance? How accessible is clinics and health and so on. So there's a lot of things to keep in mind, but generally cost of living is number one that students should consider when they graduate. Job opportunities are quite high in Kamloops. Students can always find a job for in different sectors. So uh, since I mentioned at the beginning, we are located in the main transnational highway. So another thing we are is we're also one of the stops for Rocky Mountaineer train that goes across North America, which means we do have amazing hotels. We have great restaurants in Kamloops. So
Mm.
there is a lot of options to look for in a job. We have public sectors, main retailers that are based in Kamloops.
Mm-mm.
The headquarters are based in Kamloops for some
Mm-mm.
companies, government services, main major banks, and so on. So students, their ladder, professional ladder in Kamloops, and if down the road they decide they want to move to a different province, to a different city, it's very mobile for them to do so. um, but if students want to graduate and go directly into the field of different province and try to work there as well, just keep in mind that if they go to Vancouver, of course, the competition will be higher because there will be graduates from other institutions in Vancouver. So um, you definitely should try your chances applying everywhere. But at the end of the day, Kamloops is a good place for job outcomes.
Yeah, I think Kamloops has like more than 100,000 population.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
It's not a
around
small
that.
town. Yeah, it's not a small town. Like for some
Yeah.
people, they would think, "Oh, Kamloops, where it is," like because they always think about Vancouver. When you say BC, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's expensive to live in BC," but they don't understand that BC it's a huge province. So you have Vancouver Island, you have Kamloops, you have West Kootenay, you have the northern BC, and I would agree that Kamloops like it's almost the same cost of living here like Vancouver Island in Nanaimo, if I would compare it, it's
Yeah.
way lower than the Metro Vancouver. But if I will be going to TRU, do I need a car?
Mm, depends. If you're traveling as a single student, and you are, planning to stay on campus, which we do have accommodation on campus for
Mm-hmm.
single students, and off campus, we even have host families available for our students. So if you're staying on campus, you don't need a car. We have a shuttle for public transit that goes from our campus. We have two bus stops located on our campus, and public transit goes every 10 to 15 minutes to different parts of the city. So it's very easy and very accessible. But if you are living a little bit far away and you want the comfort of, commuting and, you're working in different parts of the city, which when I was a student in TRU, I never used a car. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I worked in downtown, but studied on campus and lived in the third part of the city. I always use public transit. It's very easy, it's accessible,
Is
it's
it
part of your tuition fees.
every 15 minutes or 20 minutes if you wait for the bus?
It depends on the route, but
Yeah.
usually every 15 minutes there is a bus that's coming
Yeah.
into the campus and
So that's not
taking
bad.
that's very,
That's,
very good. Yes.
yeah. Yeah. Like I was,
But you can
yeah.
also look into getting a car. Usually
Yes.
students do that on their second year because they're more comfortable and they want to go exploring. So the reason why usually students get a car
Yeah.
is because they want to go around and see the
I
beautiful nature,
know.
travel. So yeah,
You just like you're in BC. You want to like go to different places. There's so many
yeah.
beautiful places and it's going to be limited if you don't have a car. But like in the beginning, of course, you have to save money and also like if you have to look for cars, you have to be also cautious, like especially if you're gonna like buy a second-hand car, right?
Yeah.
But talking about the bus, I was in Royal Roads University here, Vancouver Island. I don't know if it's like the same vibe in TRU. Royal Roads is like different buildings, so many trees, and then you have to walk for like 15 minutes to another building. Is it the same in TRU? Like you have like different building for different departments, like different field, or is it like in just one building?
Are you referring to our campus?
Yes.
Oh, yes. So we actually offer a full university experience in Ontario, which means we do have a big campus with uh, accommodation, with fitness facility. We have a huge tournament capital center with running tracks, football courts, Olympic-sized swimming pool, gym.
Oh.
We have a separate building for each faculty. So
Mm.
students have a designated building for their studies. So um, there is, libraries, cafeteria. We have Starbucks, Tim Hortons, Subway, different food options students can choose from. So there is a lot of things on campus. But with that being said, sounds like a lot, but it usually takes no more than 5 to 7 minutes from one building to another. So it's quite close.
Okay, so it's like
It's a
pretty close to
compact.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I, I just went to the area today. I was like, "Ah, I'm exhausted."
Yeah, no, 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 no. Especially if you live on campus and you live in one of our main residences, it shouldn't take you more than 5 to 7 minutes to get anywhere
Yeah, I wish I
on
could like
campus.
I wish I could visit your campus soon.
Yeah, you
And
should. You should.
yeah, because like when I went to RU today, there's a peacock, like there's like different like wildlife that you would see.
We have deers on
Yeah.
campus just existing there. Yeah, they're not even scared of people anymore.
Yes.
I was there meeting my students in August for the fall semester. And yeah, we were just casually talking, and there's 5 deers, just a family passing by on our campus. So they're
Yes.
comfortable. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see squirrels, deers, different types of birds. There's a lot of wildlife which is, harmoniously coexisting with human beings. So
Yeah. Like it's just so nice to go to a university that is quiet. For me, that would be my preference. Quiet. Like I don't know, like in the big city, it's just too much. Like you're stressful in school, and then when you go out of the university, it will be stressful as well. But if you're going to TRU, it's more like peaceful, I would say. Am I correct, Maria?
yeah, it's very peaceful, and we're a very green campus. So especially during summertime. Lots of students are just studying outside on the grass, and we have
Yes.
beautiful view on the mountains from our campus.
Mhm.
We're surrounded by mountains basically, so it's a really natural landscape that is it keeps surprising every time the more you look at it.
Yeah,
And with the change of seasons, it's only getting prettier and prettier. So,
it's
you know,
nice.
what you said is, you get tired of bustling and hustling,
I
big
know.
city life. So in Kamloops, the regular life of a person after their studies, they go grab lunch and they go for a short hike to have their lunch. So that's kind of how it works here. And or like if you have a day off, people normally don't stay home. They go outdoors. They go to the lake with their friends and families. They do barbecue. They go to a concert in the park. We have a
Yeah.
beautiful park in the downtown, or not just like we have a couple. There's plenty of hiking spots. If you have pets, there's pet-friendly areas. We have yachting clubs, we have golf clubs, wineries surrounding us. So there's a lot of things you can do, and it's very beautiful for sure.
Yeah. I just want to visit right now, Maria. But thank you,
You
Maria,
know,
for sharing the information about your school. I learned a lot today, the programs, and hopefully our viewers learn a lot too. Guys, you can like message or drop your question. Just send this the form, fill out the form, and then I will be able to answer you if you have any question. And if you want to apply at TRU, um do you have any like final advice, Maria, since you became like you were like an international student before, and now what's with like what's happening in the immigration? What will be your advice to them right now?
that's a very good question. I would say now is the best time to apply to Canada
Mm,
because, yes, immigration, hustle, everything, but there is always a lot of job in camp. There is no problem with finding a job. There's a lot of professionals that are needed, especially in those fields that government is trying to fill right now. But if you think about it, if you apply now, you will have a smaller competition when you graduate. It will be easier to find a job. It will be easier to find housing. It will be easier to do a lot of things. So I think the best time is to apply now if you're qualified. So that's perfect timing. Yeah.
I thought the same. I have the same like mindset. Like, okay, not a lot of students like going here right now. It just went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you don't have a lot of competition in housing, jobs, and eventually like PR. Yes, it's hard right now because election is coming, but eventually, like when you graduate, like you're only competing with your classmates or batchmates,
Well,
But
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. And there's less issues that a lot of students been dealing with for the past couple of years due to different reasons, right? So you can tell that it's going to be equality for a lot of things, and job market will be great for those that will graduate in the next 2 to 3 years. So definitely consider applying, not reconsider applying to another place, but actually consider to apply now is the best time to do so.
Mhm. And then, like, one last question. Like, you said, like, did you graduate 2016, or that's w- w- that's where you started your program? When did you graduate? 2018?
No, no, no. I graduated in 2016 already.
How was it? It was how was it like 2016 and then this year, just to compare?
Hmm. Well, it's been so long ago. But I think, well, it's interesting question because I came to campus this fall, and there's two things I could say. For TRU, TRU has been expanding like amazingly. We have a lot of new buildings, we have accommodation options, different services. support systems. Everything is digital, so it's easily accessible now. Because when I was a student, I had to go somewhere to get something, to get help from here. Now it's all digital. Like, for example, at a residence for students that they leave. Before I had to use coins to do my laundry. Now it's a card that you fill out online and you can just go pay. I'm like, why couldn't they do that when I was a student and I had to look for coins? So it's super automated. It's super easy. Same
I
for public
know.
transit. It's a card you use. The same for housing. Everything. It's very much. We're quite progressive in technologies on our campus. We have a car that students can rent that is an electric car and they can rent and they can use
Seriously?
that as well. Yeah, there's a lot of things. And I mean, I was thinking, why didn't I have that? So food options, like everything,
Many
libraries,
establishments
materials,
now.
Yes, and the other thing is, compared even just to take Canada specifically, Canada is a very stable country.
Mm.
So what you see is what you get, right? There's not a lot of surprises. So the reason why I'm saying that is, if I compare 2016 and then
Yeah.
this summer, the last time I went, not much changed. People are still friendly. Businesses are still working the same way. Banks are
Mm.
running the same way. Even restaurants have very similar menus, like the restaurants I used to go to. So
Mm-mm.
stability is the main thing of Canada. So if you're looking for stability, if you're looking for security, that's a good place to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm just curious, like in 2016, I graduated 2019. So that was like
Okay.
like after pandemic. So you were like before the pandemic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I think at the times of change, there's always opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of being able to see those opportunities and take advantage of it. So, like I said, who thought that we will be doing this type of Zoom meetings and talking to
Mm-hmm.
our students and providing them with useful information that they can
Mm-hmm.
take and use it somewhere else? But with the different, COVID times and different things that are happening in the world right now, it's good time to, take advantage of changes and use it to your advantage for sure.
True. True. Let's see. Let's see in the next 2 years. You might say, I wish I
Yeah,
could have like submitted my application, or I have started something instead of like waiting for like waiting
yeah,
for Canada to go back to its old policy. Like you cannot like take it back. Like you have to
yeah,
accept and adapt to the changes, right? Yeah, thank
definitely.
you, Maria, for your time, and it's really a productive session with you. And of course, a Pibor, thank you, Justin, for everything, coordinating with TRU, and hopefully we can do this again. Maria, if you have anything that you wanted to, if you have a new program for international students, or let's say you want to promote like a new intake, like if you have a new program in May, so just let me know. And thank you guys for listening and tuning in our podcast, live podcast, and we'll see you soon here in Canada. Okay,
Thank you, Anne. Thank you,
thank you,
Justine. Have a
Maria.
good
Thank you,
day. Have a good
Justin.
night.
Good night.
Thank